On behalf of Shutter 16 Magazine, I am Alex Cason, and today I'm interviewing Don and Laurie Koster, the music king and queen of Charlotte. Now, these two not only help befriend the bands, but they promote them as well, and they also use this home as a place of refuge for these bands when they come in from out of town. It's called the Charlotte Rock and Roll Hotel. Now, they've helped out acts like Desert Noises, Joshua James, Roadkill Ghost Choir, Jukebox Ghosts, Kishi Bashi, and Jupiter One. Many other bands also. What is the motivation that lends itself to this level of generosity?
Well, originally I think we just enjoyed the bands and we liked them personally, and we wanted to hang around them a little bit longer. And so one of the bands was an Atlanta band called Sun Domingo we used to go see, and we used to drive home after all the shows, and one day we said, why don't you just come back to our place? And they did, and it was a lot of fun. And then we started hearing their stories about life on the road, and it was pretty tough what they were going through, and all of them appreciate it a lot. They're so grateful. From the moment they walk in the door, they just love being here, and they know they're safe and they're going to be comfortable. So there's just
have a beer,
have a drink or two, yeah.
Now, is that the motivation that got you started with it, or did you meet another band and say, we're just going to start doing this?
No, it was just Sun Domingo was the first one, and then our son Chris was working at the Muse one night, and there was another band there that he wanted us to come see. So Don went out there to see him, and that was Jupiter One, and said, "You guys, got to see them." And Don was just like, "Come back to the house if you have no place to stay." And it just kept going like that. People just were asking, like, do you know where we could crash? And we just happened to have enough room, and we like their music, which is a benefit.
So after a while, bands started getting a reputation as a place that people could stay. So bands would eventually talk to each other.
Sometimes they're playing in another band, and they're like, we're coming through town, and I've got this new band, and do you mind if I bring them along?
Yeah,
they're good people.
We've had a number of people that first were with one band, and then they had something else. In fact, Kyle Henderson with Desert Noises. He first was here with Joshua James, and then he came back. He called us and said that he had his band. So that was one, and we've had a number of others. Scott Schmadeke with Harpooner. We first had him here with the Colonel. It just kind of keeps rolling.
Are there any stories that you tell that are permissible through the public media, or are they mostly just things that you shouldn't release? It's up to you guys.
Well, we always tell the bands, what happens here stays here, but, most of the time, everybody's just here to have a good time, relax, let their hair down, have good conversation. We've only had really one bad band or incident, the whole time in like 8 years that we've been doing this. So, they just were a little bit
too drunk.
But yeah, and we never say who they are, because I think by now they've grown since then, and they're doing really well, and we're happy for them. But other than that, yeah, most of the time it's pretty relaxed. I mean, we get people like skinny dipping or little things like that, but it's just a lot of fun. They're genuinely nice human beings.
Speaking of backyard action, this backyard has also been host to a few music videos.
Yes.
Which bands have done videos back in this
Well, it's Rocket Boys.
The Rocket
did a couple
Boys, yeah.
With our friend Will Davis. We had Cowers Choir with Andy Ziff.
Yeah.
And Desert Noises didn't do a video here. We went to McDowell Park for them. Did a video with them there.
Jeff Williams from Go-Go Pilot did a shoot in the pool.
He was in the pool.
He jumped in and took photos underneath the water with him in a full suit and briefcase.
Yeah.
Some years back, Jeff Williams. And Desert Noises here.
Yeah, and then there was a monster video or something that was happening. A guy dressed up like some kind of creature.
And our friend Elliot Bronson from Atlanta. He's done couch videos and videos in the backyard.
Yeah.
Then we have some videos that are just our own, but that they're not professionally produced.
And Joshua James.
Joshua James, yeah, we've got a great video of him doing just a solo acoustic number. It's priceless.
You guys have like a YouTube site or something set up where people can find all these videos, or are they just scattered around?
Well, Will Davis on
Well, Carolina Music Connection.
Carolina Music Connection, .com. Yeah, there are a lot of videos up there, for sure.
We've had Andy Friedman when he was here. He stayed here, and his band was Andy Friedman and the Other Failures. Or was it some?
Yeah.
Boy, sorry, Andy.
Yeah.
But he is also a caricature artist in New York, and at the time he had a project due, and he finished some prototype drawings in my daughter's room. He had to have quiet, and we stayed outside while he worked, the rest of the band and us. And we got to see the finished product in the New York Times Magazine. We were standing in our living room when Ben Thornwell got a phone call that they got their first publishing deal. That was kind of exciting. But it's mostly bands chilling and relaxing, and you know they're not making a ton of money. A lot of the artists that we have are not making anything.
No, they walk in the door and we're like, oh, we're home. Just able to relax. We don't have to be on for people and fans, and just it is their second home. A lot of them say that, which is very flattering.
I remember we had one artist. He was very quiet. The rest of the band was outside having a big time, and he was inside sitting on the couch. And I was a little concerned that he wasn't comfortable. And I asked him if he was okay, and he said that he was just dandy. And I realized that he had the remote control for the TV in one hand. He had his laptop on our Wi-Fi network in his lap, and he had his cell phone for texting in the other hand. And he was a happy camper. He was indoors.
So speaking of second homes, the Evening Muse is a place where not only I, but anybody in Charlotte can run into you on any given night, depending on what's going on there. What separates that venue from the others?
Well, I don't know. We both work with the Muse a lot, so we have first-hand experience with that. But originally, I guess it's just mostly a listening room. So if you want to go and sit and have good sound and just pay attention to the band and not do a whole lot of social interaction.
Yeah, and it's a great anchor location too.
Yeah.
Right at the corner of 36th and North Davidson Street in Noda. I mean, people know what to expect there. So if they want to chill out with live music, the Muse is right there handy.
And there's a great team involved in it too that are really, really passionate about the Muse and what goes on there. So you want to be a part of that all the time and make it be like the best venue that it can be.
Yeah, 13, 14 years in the community, so it's gotten to be a well-known, established place where people know what to expect.
We're all on board with we want to make it world-renowned, actually.
Joe Kuhlman, Big Joe, has a heart of gold, and he's committed to keeping the business going there and bringing good music.
He's a good big brother,
yeah,
good friend, father figure.
He's my little brother.
What is Max Music, and explain what you do with that?
Well, I book shows at the Muse, so right now it's probably about 90% of the shows that are booked at the Muse are through Max Music. He got me involved about a year ago in March, and Greg McCraw, Max Music, got too busy with all his other venues, and he needed some help, so he came to us and asked if we would mind helping out booking shows. And it's been a great experience. I've seen it from a different angle now, working with agents and booking and the artist, and it's been a lot of fun.
She reports to Greg, I report to her, and I report to Joe, and I report to Greg as well.
Where did you two meet, and where are you from originally? How did this all start?
We're both from Cleveland, Ohio.
Laurie was in high school in Cleveland, Ohio, when I met her.
Yep. He was the boy next door.
Boy next door, yeah.
Pretty much. I was there with my mom, my sisters.
And I had a great record collection, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we were both, I mean, we had similar taste in music. And
Rock and roll.
yeah. So, you know, I met him on the street, came over, said hi, and I was studying on the front porch, and he was already graduated and in college, and he thought I was in college too, and thought that I was in high school.
Beautiful long hair.
Yeah, he had hair
She
longer
fell
than
in love.
mine for sure. He did.
What was the first show you guys saw?
Bebop Deluxe.
Bebop Deluxe. Bill Nelson.
Yeah, it was at the Agora in Cleveland, which is, I mean, it's a famous.
And that was
you know,
just the first of many.
Yeah.
Well, how did you end up in Charlotte? And on top of that, what made you dedicate your now music push in Charlotte? What made you come here?
My mom got transferred down with her job years before we came down here, and Don was pretty much allergic to winter. I mean, he got sick like every winter, and
Hated it.
I came down here once or twice a year to see my mom and visit with her, and you know, I would go back in the middle of winter, and I'd go back with a suntan, and Don's like shoveling snow, you know, getting our car out of the street, and he's like, okay, Chris, our son, was 2 or 3 at the time. I wasn't working, I was a stay-at-home mom. He was looking for a good job. The market up there was going downhill fast, and Charlotte was going up, and he's like, your mom's down there, let's like take a chance to go down there. So we did. We came down here, and it was the best move we ever did. Our daughter Dana was born here, so she's a little Southern belle. But and then, you know, we raised our kids here and took Chris through sports, and so we weren't involved in the music scene at all for a long time. And then I started working, and then I was like, as a hobby, I thought, well, I'm going to try and take in guitar lessons. And so through CPCC, I took guitar lessons, and John Tosco happened to be my guitar instructor. And
The Tosco Music Party,
Yes.
Evening Muse. So that's how you connect the dots.
Yeah. I was also dabbling in web design at the time, and I was all about like, go look for the website, and he was talking about these music parties he would have with his students and friends, and he would pass out these flyers, these paper flyers in class. I'm like, well, don't you just have a website that we could go to? And he's like, no, but if you know anyone that wants to volunteer. And I said, well, all right, I'll give it a shot. And so I got to be part of the team early on, and we got to be part of the advisory committee. You go to advisory meetings. There are singer-songwriter musicians that were there. Rick Spreitzer was one, and he needed a website. He knew I was doing web design. I started doing Toscos, and then I did Rick's, and then he would say, you need to go see this band that I know, and they needed a website, and so we just kept going to more and more shows until it just.
And you mentioned Dana and Chris.
Mm-hmm.
They're very musically entrenched now themselves. What did you do early to get them involved? Was it you're taking guitar lessons, or how did you get them, or did they just follow through their own path?
Oh yeah, they just do their own path. We've been turned on to a lot of stuff through them. It's been great. Yeah.
Yeah, they have their own. They have their own desires. That's for sure.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun with them.
So Don and Laurie, what is Shomo Live, and how can people get involved?
Shomo Live started as a startup with Scott Germain and a team from New York who saw a need in the music industry for
Small to medium-sized venues.
yeah, an easier way to book bands and get booked.
Do it yourself.
Yeah, a do-it-yourself kind of process. And so what you do when you sign up for Shomo Live, you'll go there and you'll be a fan, a venue, or an artist that's interested in getting booked or following your bands. So if you're a venue, which is where they're starting, they're going to the venues or clubs or bars, and a lot of times these venues, they don't want to have to deal with booking bands. You know, it's just a headache, but it's something that they have to do. So this way, they just could go out there and find a band that's looking for a place to play. And if the band's doing their homework and getting a fan base and working really hard, they can grab them and say, okay, I've got this Friday night coming up, and we welcome you to come in there. Meanwhile, the band will have their own profile set up where it tells them how big they are, what their fan base is, what they need as far as staging, if they have the equipment, and just move forward from there. And then they'll get the fans involved. The fans can follow the venues and who's playing. The fans can follow the bands that they like and where they're playing. And once they start interacting with each other, then it just makes for, you know, a great community, which I don't think there's anything like that out there right now. I mean,
And it's all aimed at eliminating the inefficiencies in the whole process, the booking process. You know, waiting to hear back and everything. It's like kind of a central clearinghouse for the information that's required to book a show between a venue and an artist, and then incorporating the fans being able to know who's playing where and when.
well, we want to keep helping the bands as much as we can, and it's getting pretty big.
Yeah, and I think where we're going now is we're formulating some ideas of how we can get other people involved in helping, and that means financially.
A lot of people have come forward saying they want to help, they just don't know how. They don't want to house the bands, but they want to help somehow.
So this would be a way for outsiders to contribute because they really appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, we know a lot of people now that they get really excited at what we're doing, and they really think it's great, but it's not for them to do. And we just figure, if you want to be involved, then, you know, why not step up to the plate a little bit? And you can be involved that way, and all credit would be given, you know, any kind of assistance. So, but we're trying to think of some ways that we're going to formalize that.
Yeah, the bands need a lot of help. I mean, sometimes the van breaks down and you feel helpless, you can't help them with that, or they need gas money, or maybe they can't stay here and they need to stay at a hotel, or they need to stay at a hotel at the next place. You know, and we're always trying to figure out ways that we can help them do that. But we're not in a place financially to help them do that, so, but other people are. Yeah, maybe a little bit more work to get it off the ground and everything, but we've got a team of people that are really interested in helping us from all different avenues, so I don't see a negative with doing that at all. I mean, anything we could do to help the bands, I'm all about it.
Where are the websites, if people do want to help out, are there websites that people can go to find you, contact you or Don?
Laurie Koster.
Well, I've got my weekly newsletter, you know, that go to lauriekoster.com or
Koster.
And Carolina Music Connection is like an ongoing thing of all the bands that have stayed here and what they're doing and how hard they're working and where they're getting recognition and on the right path, and
Shutter 16.
Absolutely. Which is doing great. That was the other thing I was going to bring up too, is like the Charlotte music scene. There are a lot of people that are really getting involved now behind the scenes. That it's really exciting, you know, because for a while there, when I first started, you know, 10, 15 years ago, there was nobody else really doing much with it, and now there are a whole lot of people out there that are doing it. And then like Shutter 16, and I love the Twit from the Pit. I think that's an awesome idea, or all that kind of stuff. I think, you know, anything that everybody can do to just get the general population excited about what's going on around here.
CLT Plus is another good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're doing some Battle of the Bands with the Muse. And, yeah, it's exciting. Charlotte's come a long way. We've got a long way to go too.
Yeah. The bands need to get more involved and get out there to the shows. And
yeah, the local musicians need to come out to shows when bands that are getting a little buzz come to the town. We need to have a better showing. That's a tough part right now.
Is there something you want to say, like, to the Charlotte band? Like, what's your feeling about the Charlotte music scene, how it is now and where it's going?
I think we've got some exciting players out there right now that are working really, really hard. They're getting outside of Charlotte. They're seeing what their options are out there. Some of them have gotten involved with labels or agents, but a lot of them are just like going around in the same circle and playing with the same people all the time and not expanding out there. So I guess I'm not to say that that's a bad thing, but I just don't know what their goals are. You know, where do they want to go? What do they want to do? You know, we're there to help them as our other people, but you know, we need to know that they want to go take the next step and go out there.
Okay, well, let's just have a parting note. Is there anything you want to say to anybody that's a music fan that you didn't say already? Is there anything that we didn't ask in the interview that you just want to tell people or talk about? Or
go to a show. Go to a show.
Come out and see the live.
If it's not
music.
the Evening Muse, any one of the venues. There's great venues in town, but the Evening Muse is the best. I'm getting trouble for that, I'm
Yeah.
sure.